Hey guys, welcome back. It's Missy, and today we're going to talk about how to deal with the narcissist when you can't leave. So here's the thing. You'll see all over, everyone always recommends if you're dealing with a narcissist, please leave, get away from them. But that's not a possibility for everyone. Not everyone can leave. Sometimes you have to stay for the kids, sometimes you don't have money, sometimes like you have to live under your parents' roof, sometimes you still have to work with a narcissist. Like, it's just, you deal with them on day to day. Sometimes it's just not possible to get away from the narcissist. So if you can't get away from the narcissist, you need to learn how to deal with the narcissist. So before you even learn how to deal with the narcissist, you first have to do some work on yourself and understand that this dynamic, so I'm not gonna even call it a relationship because it's no longer a relationship, the dynamic between the two of you, it's you focusing on survival. There's no longer an emotional relationship. There's nothing you can really get out of it. It's not a two-way street. It is now a one-way street where you are just trying to survive. And so the very first thing is that you need to accept that this is the reality. You're never going to get emotional support from them. When they're love bombing you, that's not the real them. That's just the part of the cycle of abuse. When you try to bring up things that are bothering you, or you try to talk to them about your, stuff's going on with you, they are not able to receive it. So you're not going to have any type of relationship, and you need to accept that. And you also have to accept that they're not a normal person, and you're never going to be able to change them. So they are the way they are. This is stemmed from childhood. It's ingrained in their brain. They have actual brain deformalities where their empathy in their prefrontal cortex is thinned out. They can't self-reflect. They're like that. You are not going to be the one that saves them. You have to let go of that savior complex. You can't save them. There is zero hope for them. So please don't try. So with any person, you can never control them, but you can always influence them and the way that they treat you based on your responses, your reaction, and the way you perceive things. So when you can focus on that, you'll feel a lot more in control when you're dealing with the narcissist. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is that you need to take responsibility off of yourself, because oftentimes when you're in these dynamics with the narcissist, you put responsibility on yourself because they take no accountability and responsibility, and you're like, okay, I have to fix it. I have to take care of them. I have to do better so that they will do better. Or because they on repeat they tell you how wrong you are and they tell you you're a terrible person, you start to believe this, and so then you are always trying to fix yourself. You have to understand that it's not just you that's responsible. You're responsible for your reactions and the way you deal with situations, but you are not responsible for them and their feelings and the things that are going wrong with them, and that's where you have to cut it off. You are not responsible for their feelings. And that's really important that you remind yourself that you're not responsible for anyone's feelings. So you have to understand, no matter what they say, all the negative that they're spewing out, they're projecting. They have deep shame and worthlessness, and they're projecting all of that onto you. So for every negative thing the narcissist says, act like they're trying to say into a mirror. They mean to say it to themselves. They just not gonna forget what they look like, and they mistake it for you. Once you put up that wall and that boundary of being like, okay, this is me and this is them, and you understand that, then it'll be easier to deal with them. I talk about not getting personal with a narcissist in my video, the 10 common mistakes when dealing with a narcissist, which I will leave right here. So because this is a survival game, some of the things that you will be doing are a little unhealthy, and they are technically manipulative. And again, when you're surviving, it's not a matter of what's right and wrong. It's a matter of, I need to do what I need to do so I don't sacrifice my mental health and my sanity and my physical health. So the first thing that can be really helpful is deflecting. And you're gonna be like, what? But that's what they do. When I say deflecting, I mean when they are trying to maybe get too personal, or they are starting to go into one of those conversations where it's gonna spiral and it's gonna cause a big fight, shift the topic into something else. So maybe they'll ask you a personal question. Instead of answering that personal question, bring it about themselves. Be like, wait, didn't you just say you had this like big church meeting? Tell me about that church meeting. Bring the conversation about them, because narcissists, they really do like to talk about themselves. So you bring it about them and you show your interest in them, they'll start to go on and on about whatever it is that they're experiencing, and this will take the heat off of you, so you don't have to talk about yourself or the topic you didn't want to talk about. Now if they keep bringing up the topic you don't want to talk about, then that's when you can be like, oh, you know, that's not really an interesting topic, let's talk about something else. And they may freak out or whatever it is, but you need to be consistent with what you say and not talk about that thing. You don't have to talk about anything you don't want to talk about. Even if they, you know, go into a rage or whatever it is, it's going to be a temporary thing, and eventually they'll get to a point where they feel shameful and embarrassed that they are not able to get what they want, and then they'll move on to something else. Narcissists not only feel a lot of shame, but they kind of a short attention span. So if they eventually don't get their way because their children's stuck at the age they're abused at, if they eventually don't get their way, they eventually move on to something else. Same thing with a child. When you don't give them the reaction, even though they're having a meltdown and freaking out, they eventually stop because they don't see anyone else looking at them, and then they go get distracted by something else. And that's the same thing with the narcissist. This is a big tactic that actually made me survive my whole childhood, and I even realized I was doing it until I was an adult, when I would deflect topics that I didn't want to talk about, and I was like, oh my god, wait, this is what I did to survive. I used to just deflect all the time and not talk about things I didn't want to talk about, and I'd bring it about the other person. Good for survival, not healthy in any other dynamic. The next thing is stop attending to their needs. When you have a narcissist in your life, majority of the times you're checking the temperature, you're trying to read the situation. Okay, what do they need in this moment? How can I stop them from spiraling? How can I stop them from going into a rage? This is what you did to survive because you didn't know any other way to cope, but you have new healthier coping mechanisms, which we'll go into, and so that is no longer needed. That enables them when you attend to all of their needs. So don't attend to their needs any longer. Allow them to feel whatever emotion they're feeling, and you just stay clear and stay out of the way. Stay away from them as much as possible. If you live with them, try to stay out of the house when they're in these types of moods. If you have to coerce with them when they're in these types of moods, just steer clear of, you know, asking what's wrong or trying to help them any sort of way. Appear clueless, like you don't know that they are in a type of negative mood, because oftentimes narcissists, they want you to hear them out, and if you're just acting clueless and not entertaining and not asking more questions and not trying to solve their problem, or you don't give into their victimhood, they'll eventually stop because you're not a good supply anymore. You're not hearing them out, and they want someone that's going to hear them out and enable them. So instead of attending to their needs, attend to you and what you need. You know, get hobbies, have a good social life. That's really important, is to have that emotional support, have people out there that you can talk to. That's not just about the narcissist, but just daily life. Get invested in new projects at work, whatever it is. Attend to you rather than focusing your whole life on the narcissist and what they need. Your best bet is that you want to try to stay away from them as much as possible, and when you do have to engage with them, don't have any conversations that are personal or anything that can reveal anything about yourself. Only share what needs to be shared and what they need to know. They're on a need to know basis. The next thing is, which is kind of a manipulative tactic. This is something that can help buy you time. If you notice that they're going into that devalue stage, what you can do is praise them, stroke their ego. Because here's the thing, they're always looking for supply. So you gotta pick and choose. Which supply would you rather it be? Would you rather it be the devalue supply, where they're ripping you apart, where they're physically touching you, where they're emotionally abusing you, where they're accusing you of things? Would you rather that, or would you rather the positive supply? Because they get both, where you're praising them, you're stroking their ego, and it doesn't have to be disingenuous, because with everyone there's positive and negative. So you can think about some things, like maybe they recently made a really good meal and say, hey, you really cooked this delicious meal, I really appreciate that, like why don't you tell me how you made this meal, or you know, you're such a great cook, and you know, having conversations about that. And they may start to try to complain and, you know, be negative, but if you continue to like have that positive spirit, they're less likely to give into it, because they're looking for a reaction out of you. They want you to be like, oh my god, what's wrong? They're looking for that reaction. They're looking for you to fall into their trap. So if you stay at a high energy and they're at a low energy and they can't bring you down, they're eventually going to neutralize. So use that sparingly, because it can get very draining and exhausting using it, and if you overdo it, then it's going to lose its power. So be careful with that one. The next thing is enforcing boundaries. This is really important, and this is one that a lot of people have a hard time with, because they'll treat the narcissist like they're a normal person, where they can, you know, express their feelings and talk about what's bothering them, and then, you know, talk about what they want to change. But you can't do that with a narcissist. narcissist. That's with a healthy person. With the narcissist, you have to let them know the inappropriate behavior, a warning, and if they don't listen and they don't follow, which they probably won't, then there comes a consequence. So first you have to uncover what is it that you want, what is it that you don't want, and what is it that you will accept. So let's say that the narcissist keeps trying to intrude on your relationship, with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever. They keep trying to invest themselves in the relationship. Maybe they'll call your partner and try to find out details about the relationship, or maybe like when there's a problem, they'll call them up and argue for you, whatever it is. Let's say that happens. So what you'll do is, so let's say you decide that's an unacceptable behavior, which I hope you would see that as an unacceptable behavior, because ew. Anyway, so once you decide that you will not accept it and you do not want it, decide what you want to change. So you go to them and you say, listen, I do not accept when you call my partner and when you try to find out information about a relationship and when you fight for me. If you do that again, then you will not be allowed to have any time with me and my partner will be blocking your number. Warning, consequence. That's it. And they obviously are not going to respect it. They may freak out and fight and be like, and just keep it short and simple and say, you can either accept it or not, but this is the way things are. Just no reaction, no negotiating with them, nothing. Don't try to explain yourself. They will not hear you. They do not understand boundaries. They are broken. Just keep it simple like that. You don't have to explain yourself. If you're overly explaining yourself, it's because you're trying to look for permission from them. So you need to be okay with this boundary and setting it. You may feel a little guilty, and that's okay. That's false guilt, which I will leave that video right here if you want to understand more about false guilt. But you need to follow through. Now, if they do it and they, do the behavior that you told them not to do, immediately do the consequence. Block, don't come around. That's it. You warn them. You let them know. And the reason why this works is because, again, they have so much shame and worthlessness that when there's an actual consequence, which is something they're not used to facing in their life, then they feel embarrassed and they will either, start screaming about it, whatever it is, but they'll eventually stop because there's nothing they can do. They're out of control. They now don't have the thing they want. They wanted to be in your life, and now they don't have that, and now they have to go focus on something else. So when it comes to boundaries, just go through the things that are bothering you. Like I said, the things that you don't want, what you want to change, and what you will accept, and then start to implement that with the narcissist without any conversation about it or explaining yourself. And do not say anything that you cannot follow through on, otherwise they will disrespect you and they will know that your word is a joke. So make sure if you say something, you have to follow through with a narcissist. Be consistent as possible. Now the next one is take away anything they can control you with or manipulate you with. So oftentimes narcissists, they have this push and pull game, and they do that love bombing. That's with parents, that's with partners, that's with anyone when you're dealing with a narcissist. They will dangle it over your head and they will use it as a way to manipulate and control you. That's with money, that's with maybe advice, that's with maybe being there for you, whatever it is, they try to control you with it. So no longer let them pay for you. So any way you can, get a job, get work. If you're in an environment where you have someone that doesn't allow you to get a job, you need to get out of that environment as soon as possible. There's definitely shelters you can go to that could possibly help you get you back on your feet, or just calling an old family member or a friend. Or if that's not a possibility, then try to find little ways that you can make money and save that money so that way you can escape and get out. Also, if you have anyone that's hurting you, 100% get out. If your life is in danger in any sort of way, if they've put their hands on you, if they threatened you, please, that is a time to please get out. Even if that means going to a neighbor's house and they help you from there, that is not a situation you want to play with. So yes, don't take money from them, don't take any help from them. When they offer you help, don't take it. Say, no, I'm okay, thank you so much, I'm good. You want to take away any ammo they may possibly have over you. They know what buttons to push, they know how to get to you. So when you start to pull away, they will use any tactic they can because they have this terrifying fear of abandonment, and they don't want to lose their supply. They try to hold on for dear life. It's very exhausting getting new supply. So they want to hold on to the supply that they have. And so they're going to try different tactics and different strategies to try to keep you around. And one thing is, like, if you stop reacting negatively to them and you start to gray rock and you start to respond, not react, then they start to lose control. They're like, okay, what are my options? Okay, I'm gonna try to manipulate them with some love bombing. I'm gonna try to manipulate them by saying, oh, if you don't do this, then I'm not gonna pay for your car. If you do this, then you're not getting allowance. Or if you don't do this, I'm not gonna help you anymore. And you say, okay, that's fine. I'm fine with it. And you have to accept that on your own. Try to take away what they're giving to you. And I know that kind of sounds weird, but don't take anything from them. The more you take from them, the more power and control they have over you. Now, obviously, when you're a child in these situations, if you have a narcissistic parent, if you're below the age of 18, that can be really difficult. So what I would say is pick and choose your battles. And it's important for you to understand you don't need them. Even though they've ingrained it in your brain that you need them and you're helpless without them, I promise you, they are so unhealthy, they can't do anything for you. You are much stronger and much smarter than them. And the last thing that's super important is, what happens if they're trying to fight you? What happens when they're in that state where they're miserable and they just keep going at you? This is one of the most important things, and that's always de-escalate the situation. That should always be your main goal when they are in that stage, when they are in the devalue stage. So you have to understand, when they're coming at you, they're most likely having a narcissistic injury, a rage, they're at a low point, they're experiencing deep shame and worthlessness, and they are projecting it out onto you. So everything that they're claiming you're doing, they're most likely doing. And it's things that are suppressed inside themselves, and they don't know how to handle it. So if they're saying like, oh, you hate me, you don't care about me, that's really that they're actually projecting that they hate themselves and they don't care about themselves, or also they're hating you and not caring about you, and they don't know how to deal with this. So it's important for you to put that wall up and be like, okay, they're actually talking about themselves. This has nothing to do with me. I'm not actually doing anything wrong. And that's when it's important for you to respond and not react. That's when you use very blank statements like, I'm sorry that you're experiencing that pain. I hope that you feel better. You're entitled to your opinion, but I don't agree with your faulty perception of me. Keeping it very neutral, not trying to defend yourself. Don't try to use logic and reason, because they're in an emotional reaction. You can't reason with someone that's in an emotional reaction. And well, narcissists, they mainly stay in that low vibration, emotional reaction, negativity. So you never really can reason with them anyways, but you're not going to go anywhere. No matter how much evidence you try to prove to them or you try to have a rational conversation, they will find another way to get out of it. There's no accountability. They'll use word salad. They will make it seem like you're crazy or there's something wrong with you. They're going to turn it around on you. You've been through this before. You know that's how it's going to be. So you can't have a rational conversation. You more so have to shut it down. They're going to believe whatever they're going to believe about you, and just let them. There's no convincing. There's nothing you can do to change their mind, and you have to accept that. And I have a ton of videos on responding, not reacting, which I will leave right here. I have videos on how to not react, because I know that can be really hard to not react to the narcissist. So if you're having a hard time with that, I definitely would recommend you check them out. So again, for a quick recap, the most important thing is that you are just trying to survive this environment. You are not trying to fix things. You're not trying to help them. It's not your responsibility or job to help them. They are unhelpable. It's more so you are just trying to get through the situation until you can get out of the situation, or deal with them as long as possible, but don't engage when they're in that negative state. Try to remain calm and rational as much as possible, and stay in your calm energy, and don't let them drag you down into their negative energy. So what do you guys think? Leave it all in the comments below, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye guys. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. I got this shirt for guess how much? Guess. It was on sale for $5. It was a steal. No, like literally I stole it. No, I'm just kidding, I didn't steal it. Who's biting me? Oh! You ever get like a crawling sensation or like a biting sensation and you really just hate yourself because you are terrified it's a spider, or is that just me? And today we're gonna be talking about, why do I always freeze that we're gonna talk about? Like, I know what we're talking about, but why do I freeze? And it can be, oh my god, is there a spider? Oh my god, I'm literally crazy. I'm crazy. Ow, oh, I hurt myself over that.